Hello, hello, chat. How are y'all doing? I'm celebrating my yo bun 3 years of being a mod. Hello, hello, hello. That's so awesome. Feather Brewer, welcome on in. Hello, Sloth. Thank you for checking in. Hey, Taylor and Ringy. We won't talk about that mess. They are now gone. They're not gonna piss in my Cheerios today. Hi, Bun Bun. Hello, Sloth. I hope you all had a great weekend. I had a bit of a surprise today because of I had the just check who I had to ban today. Anyways, I had a bit of a surprise today. I was checking Twitter just for usual stuffs, and if you didn't see my announcement, I had a shout out from the Ion 2 team for my little presentation for Ion 2 that I did on Friday, which was a really nice surprise to see. Made me very happy, and was just very exciting to get a shout out like that. Something I never ever anticipated getting. So yeah, that's just really, really awesome. So thank you, Ion 2 team. Grumpy Fortune Cat, hello. Anyways, we're gonna be doing crocheting as we do every other Monday. We're also going to be doing one of the rewards that we achieved during the Donathon, which is actual. Hold on. Get the Donathon stuffs. That's not it. Because we still have some we need to do. We still have some that we need to finish. Oh, it's super tiny. We're currently working on one, which is the chat picks my crochet project, which was the chocobo. We did a safe for work tweet. We chose my profile banner that will be still remaining until my 2.0 debut. We changed my Discord status. That is still also remaining until my 2.0. We did my Hear Me Out. We did the Smasher Pass. We did my office tour. We did my Dojin collection. Today we are reading your fanfics. We only had one fanfic submission, which tells me you afraid to share your favorite fanfics. Hi, Cam. So my brother is supposed to, I think he sent it to me earlier, but I lost the link. So he needs to submit to me another link for the fanfic that we're going to read later tonight. So we will have that. We're still going to do a crochet lesson night. For those of you who are interested in learning, we're going to do that. We did the MS reveal. We did my 2.0 reveal. We changed my class in FF14. I still need to have you pick a movie, so we will figure that one out. And I still need to teach Collateral how to cook, and I am still watching One Piece. I am on a little bit of a break. I got up to episode 61. I am on a little bit of a break. Mako and I are also watching on occasion the live action version. So we've had some commitment to One Piece. I am a little bit on a break right now to kind of just freshen my palette for a bit. Currently watching Hans Pretty Derby. We're going through that a little bit. But I will continue my adventures in One Piece when I'm done with Horse Girls. But other than that, we'll be finishing a couple of things today. But yeah, so we're gonna do a little break of immersion today, as one does. Nah, it's better than One Piece. Bun coming out with them fighting words there. So yes, I'm gonna move P4 color. I know. I get you, Cam. Anyways, putting this way, putting that away. Just as a reminder of what we are completed, or what we have completed. Anyways, we're gonna turn on some cozy music. Cam, you were based on that because it's my favorite persona as well. You were so based. 30 streams. Hey, yo, let's go. Let's go. I'm just gonna continue playing. Or do we want like Miyazaki? I think we're gonna do like Miyazaki today. I know we should play Final Fantasy music, but I'm kind of in the mood for something different today. Excuse my grown out nails. I'm going to be actually removing them this week. Anyways, I hope everybody had a great weekend. It's Monday for me, Tuesday for some of you. P4 was the first one you played, emulated. I mean, played a legit copy on my school laptop. Then I found out how to emulate the Vita and played P4 Golden. Then got a Vita, played it again on that. Then I got it on Steam. I've played it several times. I almost kind of like... I have a like New Game Plus loaded right now just to finish the compendium. Because that's like the last thing I need to do to finish like 100% the game on Steam. Nintendo Direct tomorrow. Is it like legit like a Nintendo Direct or just like they're gonna show like one game? No, don't remind me. I need to for Steam 100%. Yeah, I do too. I also need to play I need to play the FemC on P3P. And Callie's like going to threaten to come after my ass if I don't. I'm dreading P5R 100%. Yeah. Hold on one second. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Yeah, now I'm like curious what I need on P5R for 100%. So let's see. Persona 5 Royale. View all my achievements. I have 47 out of 53 achievements earned. Okay, so I need to... Hi, Dr. Treads. I need to sell old clothing. I need to win the lottery. Completely change the cognition of mementos. Did I not do that? I guess not. Intensive training.
Oh God. Oh,
ordered from the special menu. Okay.
Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh God, I do not like this. Oh God, get the door. Get inside the door.
Oh.
Get to the bar. Oh Christ.
Appropriate response, honestly. Appropriate response. That is definitely an appropriate response to that. That was kind of scary. I remember that part kind of freaking me out too. I understand why people hate birds. I fall asleep. Good morning, Bull. Good morning. Bull Eepy. I hate birds because of the Souls game. Colored birds are cute. Feel like I'm off somewhere. Okay. Boy, you don't have to say it like that. I mean, you're not wrong. Snag make me lose count. Perfect. Getting towards the end of that row, and I wanted to make sure that our count was right. Something got lost beforehand. I had to grab another ball of yarn because I don't think this is going to make it to the end. I could try, but I don't think so. I'll be playing Yarn Chicken. While crocheting a big chicken. You thought I was rebuilding a Pikachu? No. We're making a chocobo. How are you doing, Fire? You are good. You are goodly. I'm glad to hear it. This reminds me, I still need to relearn cross stitching. I admire anybody who can do cross stitching. I admire anybody who can do that. And I know my mom used to do cross stitching. She hasn't done it in a long time, but she did for a long time. I guess one way to look at them is like doing pixel projects, because you're like each X, it's like another pixel. You got a crochet hand for Christmas last year, and now you have to answer. The only somewhat craft skill you have ever done is cross stitch stuff. I think that's really cool. Any form of like handicrafts that anybody can procure, I think that's a big accomplishment. Cross stitching would make my eyes bug out. I kind of grew up on like handicraft stuff. My mom is like a big crafty person. My grandmother was a professional seamstress, so I learned how to sew from her. My mom was also like my Girl Scout camp leader. So like handicraft stuff came like hand in hand. I was the cheap labor, like good family. Yeah, my dad did oil painting. She always did like wood stuff. That's cool. Like those pieces of cut plywood stacked to make a cat or bunny. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Those are always cute. I kind of started doing this as a way to like de-stress myself and take my mind off things, and it helps. I mean, good fidget type stuff. Yeah, exactly. I'm also going to do the cross stitch because silly gag gifts are important. Absolutely. Absolutely. I full-heartedly support this. I'm sure it'll come back quick. It's only been like 25, 30. It does come back. It's definitely like a muscle memory thing. I mean, you might be like a little shaky at the start, but then muscle memory kicks in, and then you're like, oh yeah. Your body and mind does not forget. Oops. That sounds like something you've forgotten before. Yellow ball. It does look like one. You could potentially put stuff in it, like stuffing. Which is what we're gonna do soon. A bowl for some fruit or rocks. I got rocks. I have pretty rocks. It'd be a little flimsy, though. Fruit rocks, rock fruit. I mean, there are stone fruits. Rock. Yes, but those don't taste anything like the stones I ate as a kid. Yummy. Getting hit by the yawns here. I'm getting too relaxed. Play the Jaws theme. I don't think that would actually give me anxiety to stay awake. Got something getting tangled here. Yeah, this teeny little yarn ball is not going to make it to the end. I'm glad I grabbed another one. It doesn't have very much left to go. It's so tiny. Um, maybe about that big. I've never used this pattern before, so I don't know off the top of my head. I don't have a comparison. Yeah. It's based off the fat chocobo. The big round ball one. This isn't the biggest project I've done on stream. I made a huge Anka from Animal Crossing. $22 laptop repairs. Oh my god. Good luck, Kim. Lock in. We'll talk to you later, okay? Yes, sir. Hey, Panzer. Are you getting rained on? We started getting a little bit of rain over my way. Hey, Teacup! He is coming along. Nothing down here? Oh, okay. Yeah, we just started getting, like, kind of a medium downpour. Hi, Linty. Yo, Demi Fiend. Have you listened to the Chocobo parody song based on Hot to Go? I have not. Hey, Kairu. I have not. Can you link it in the Discord? So I can listen to it later? Please. Thank y'all. Hello, dear brother. Unravel the yarn. Drop cards. Give me 1 second. Hi, son. Dropping cards. I got shit. Unless somebody wants 13 from My Hero. Drawing more Miis. I hope you're having fun with that. Somebody got some good drops for them. Hi, Lee. How are you doing? Yeah, my day's been great. Right? I was really, really shocked to see that on my feed today. We're gonna be pretty busy MMO-wise this year. And then we had like all the summer games announcements this last weekend. Between the Persona 4 remake and then the Persona 6 teaser. Somebody's like, where's the SMT6 teaser? I'm like, oh god, please don't tease me like that. Not that I'm complaining, but why is the P6 teaser looking like the latest horror tile? I don't know, but you know, Atlas sure does have a way with being very, very vague when they don't like want to share any like game footage when it comes to like a new game coming out. I mean, like, extremely vague. Have you ever watched the original teaser to Persona 5 and SMT5? Granted, when I saw the trailer, like the teaser trailer for SMT5, I freaking screamed. IPT. But, like, when they don't have, like, game footage and they just want to, like, feed the fans, just be like, here you go, fans, and pretend this is a spoon. Like, here you go. Here's Here's a little taste of our new title. Open wide. Here comes the airplane. That's how I feel like Atlas loves to like feed everybody when a new title is on the way. Actually true, yeah. Yummy. I think they did the same thing with Metaphor. They did a really vague teaser for Metaphor Refantasio as well. So yeah, but like the trailer for P6 kind of reminds me of like we're like crossbreeding Persona 3 with SMT5's trailer and just like meshing it together. And we're gonna call it Persona 6. I want P4 Remake to advertise P5 outfits. No. P5 outfits DLC with no actual images. Then when it comes out, it's all baby outfits. I mean, that would be true because all the P5 characters would be like. Well, no. Okay. So technically, they would still be like, I think, at least elementary school kids because in both in P5 Portable or not P5 Port P3 Portable, Yukiko and Ryuji show up. I mean, it's not Yukiko is confirmed for P4, but she's like I think getting into high school, which leads into like Persona 4. But there is a kid that looks like Ryuji who loves to run, but it's like Ryuji before he bleaches his hair. And I think he would be at the right age between Persona 3 and Persona 5. So he wouldn't technically be a baby. That being said, though, they should have had like an elementary school Joker show up in the Persona 3 remake instead of regular size Joker. That would have been funnier. So if we're gonna have Joker show up in Persona 3, at least make him the right age. He'll still beat your ass. What the fuck, Igor? Kids just built different. That kid wasn't, developed on iPads. Baby Joker didn't need Roblox. I didn't know Joker knew how to time travel. I think in the Velvet Room, anything is possible, to be honest. Also, it sounds like this version of P4 Remake is based off Golden because they did show Mari. And Mari was not a character in the original version. So that's cool too. Now, if you can just get a little cut content. Yes, where's our Yosuke protagonist route? Please and thank you. Also, I'm looking forward to seeing Yosuke get fucking kicked in the balls in HD. 4K trash can. He get kicked in the balls in glorious 4K. Just what 4K was created for. I want to see Yosuke in the school uniform. Glorious 4K. Hey, Ram. How are you? Oh, we're nearing the end of this roll. You're okay. Took too much of a med, but you're recovering. I'm glad you're recovering. Sorry to hear that. That's not fun. Just feel blah. I'm glad you're feeling better. All right, we're playing Yarn Chicken here. I don't think we're gonna make it to the end here. Nope. All right. Bah! I'm small. Oh, we did. Look at that. You can bully again. Yay. All that saving you had to do. Ouch. Sorry, back cramp. I was on the twisty ab machine yesterday. No, I get you. I had to save. I have fellow VTuber Liz. She has a few redeems. I love to spam on occasion, but I wanted to save up my points for one of her big redeems, so it took me a while to not like use anything. One of my particular faves is she has for her mods, she calls them her bartenders, and one of her bartenders can be flung. So I like to fling her bartender. Oh, this yarn was not connected to anything. Yeet! Someone I followed, I saved 150k for a redeem, and they removed the redeem just as I. Oh no! Oh, that would suck. That would suck. Not much you can do. Mega's redeems are frogs. I have over 200k frogs. Please help. I can't feed them all. No. Um, I will have new redeems when my 2.0 comes out. I've been working on some fun ones. Especially for bullying. New bully, you say? Yes, I think you'll all like this one. There's one I'm gonna experiment with one tonight. I've been doing a lot of stuff with filters and mix it up stuff. I do enjoy the make bald ones. I haven't made one of those because like I'm afraid to like mess with my my new model too much. You've never crocheted anything? Welcome on in, Reform Nico. Well, never hurts to try. Try something new. Kind of fun to just do something if you fidget a lot, like I do. You found a bunch of your PS3 games last night. Thought I lost them. Yay! That's always great. That's always great. I'm glad you found them. Or do you want me to send you the Kigurumi part? You can just put it in Discord. I have all my PS1 discs, but no PS1. No! I still have my tiny PS1, but I don't think it works anymore. I think something needs to get fixed in it. Like the tiny, like almost portable PS1s. I've refused to play Final Fantasy VIII. Man, I feel like people really do give Final Fantasy VIII a lot of grief. That's 30 plus years of hatred. Don't tell me. that game's not that old, okay? I know for sure that that game's not that old. Came out in 99. It will be in 4 years or 3 years. But now's not the time. Now's not the time, okay? The laser needs to be... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Don't turn me into dust. Don't Thanos... Don't Thanos snap me. Hayes is a goofy thing that exists, though. He sure is. I will admit that 8 does kind of having... kind of does have a flawed story. From what I understand, there was like a lot of mistranslation between the Japanese and the English version as well. But it's not technically an isekai, though. Nobody gets zapped into this universe. 10 does. 10 is more of a isekai. Anytime I replayed it, I gave up on the Guardian forces in combat in general out of sheer boredom. Let me just say a thing. I was young playing 8 for the first time. I didn't see the sexual tension between Quistis and Squall. I still thought the orphanage was bullshit. Yeah. There being like 16 plus Final Fantasy games is also a bit of a flaw, if you ask me. Okay. The whole reason that it was called Final Fantasy in the first place is because at the time, Square was like a failing company. It was we getting hand gestures. Yes, Square was a failing company, so Final Fantasy was basically like their last hurrah. Before like the company was like gonna call it quits, and of course that's the game that took off. So the name just kind of stuck. That being said, it had Laguna. Yes. Laguna was rad. He also had the best battle theme. You can't deny that Laguna's battle theme was an awesome. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough Laguna. I think originally he was supposed to have more. That team was originally supposed to have more of a presence, I guess I should say. And it just didn't work out that way. Okay, so what I wanted. Yeah, I agree. What I want to know is why. Why did they decide to rename Squall to Leon in Kingdom Hearts? Advent Children, the movie, the remake, the game. Let's go. I think I heard that Advent Children is supposed to be tied in to the final disc for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think I heard something about that. Leon Kennedy would be my bet. Basically failed to save his world from Heartless bullshit, went brood mode and took on a new name. Not a very original name, but close enough. I mean, he basically just took on his last name. Look, Squall was never touted as a creative man. I think he's kind of more like no thoughts, head empty sometimes. But then again, poor man has seen some shit. Especially watching Quistis's Blue Magic. Yes, she sure did. Too many games got announced that I want this year. I hear my bank screaming. Yeah. I feel that. Hey, remember that time Quistis just appeared in Squall's dorm in the middle of the night, called herself queen, and went, "Want to play cards?" I think about that sometimes. Yeah, I do recall that. I do recall. But she was also like, "Hey, Squall, I need to have a serious discussion with you in the middle of the night on the balcony where everybody makes out." Also, something that lives rent free in my mind is the fact that Cloud and Tifa bang. Right under the airship, yep. In full view. They even have their little post-coital cuddle. Which, when you think about it, the infamous video that was open at that Italian parliament wasn't fan fiction. But was it better or worse than when Tidus and Yuna get it on the spring while Kimari watches also nodded? Well, I never finished 10, so I didn't know that happened. Are you telling me Kimari... Are you telling me Kimari is a voyeur? Kimari is always watching. Kimari is her guardian. Of course he watches. Oh. Gotta bring your protection. Carter's like, yeah, time to go. Time for World versus World. Bye-bye. Bye, Carter. Thanks for joining. Well, I do, but yes, I meant a very good time. All I can say is I hope that horrible laugh was not involved. That God. Laugh had purpose. But nah, not in that bit. Also, replacing Lulu with Pain in the second game, that was a crime. It gets memed a lot, but the whole point was Tidus forcing a laugh when everything else feels hopeless for Yuna. It's supposed to sound stupid. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but it still sounded bad. Might need a secondary ball of yarn. This ball of yarn was a lot smaller than I anticipated. Thanks. I actually need to remove them. They're like getting grown out. And I actually need to have them removed. You know what that means? Petty time. Yeah. Yeah, I have to get them done. Probably do it on Friday. Yeah, this is gonna be kind of a hefty boy. Whom? What was that? Panzer! Thank you! Thank you, Panzer! Thank you so much, Panzer! Must have been the win. Yeah, indeed. It must have been the win. It makes me mad that I can't seem to put any of the official like Persona shirts up on my wish list because Throne keeps thinking they don't exist. I'm like, but they do exist. I might just put a thing that says "Buy me an Atlas shirt." All right, we're gonna do one more row, do a quick stretch break, and then we will read the submitted fan fiction. It's gonna be quite the round boy. Alright, we're gonna lock that there. I also like to lock the loop. This in here. So what is the Chunky Chocobo's name gonna be? I don't know. I'll let you all vote on that. You can all come up with a name for that one. If you let me have free reign, I'll just like name it Steve or something. Anyways, we're gonna take a quick Chuck the Chunky Chocobo. Actually, that's not a bad idea. All right, we're gonna take a quick stretch break, and then we will do the submitted fanfic. So we'll be back in a few moments. So stay tuned. I vote for Quetzalcoatl. Are you trying to start a fight with oldest man Rod? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so this is from our Redeem. I needed to read a fan fiction. A submitted fanfic. The only one we got was from Eyebrow Thief. Problem is like the fanfic had to be like safe for work. Or at least safe for Twitch. Because we don't need me getting banned. A fight for the mods amusements. Why am I fighting for the mods amusements? Why for are we doing that? Apparently Rainbow Factory was... I could read Rainbow Factory. I could have, but you don't like Rainbow Factory. Okay, so, fan fiction. We are reading. I'm getting from the brony himself. We are reading My Little Dashie. So if you were a former brony or Pegasister, cupcakes it is. Oh my god. Anything about cupcakes. Okay, I think Cupcakes was far more disturbing than Rainbow Factory. That might get me in trouble with Twitch. That would definitely get me in trouble. Okay, I'm gonna put a pendant just in case like people are like wondering. Oh, what the fuck am I reading? Next up, My Immortal. I would do My Immortal if it had nothing to do with a certain author that breathes in all the black mold. That's the only thing that keeps me from reading that. Got abandoned Twitch long ago. Anyways, we are reading Eyebrow Thief submitted to me one of his favorite fanfics from the My Little Pony fandom. And if you are a former brony or Pegasister, then you understand. I, for one, was a big fan of My Little Pony. Both the original 80s cartoon and the newer one. So, we are going to read My Little Dashie by Rob Cakerin. Cakerin 53. It's apparently based off of a comic. Let's see. See if this actually works. I'll have to double check. Nope, the image no longer works. Okay. Oh, it was like from Image Shack, so they probably like deleted everything. Anyways, we shall begin. It is I don't know how long this is going to be. Rainbow Dash is the best pony. I'm more of a Fluttershy person myself, but I get it. I get it. Let me take a little sippy first because this is gonna be rude. Anyways. I live my life one day at a time. A good portion of those days are uneventful, always falling in the same routine. I wake up, walk to work, walk home, then bum around until I go to bed. Sometimes I'll hang with my few friends, while other times I'll just play video games or watch My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. Every so often, something new and interesting happens. I meet an old friend, I find $1 on the ground, or I get chased by a stray dog. Living in a dying city isn't very fun or interesting. The city was once full of life and color, but now most of the houses are sagging. The businesses sit empty and abandoned, and several open fields lay barren of the once great factories that helped drive the economy. I had never seen this city during those times in person, but I have seen pictures. My mother and father lived happy, and they could only wish the same for me growing up. Sadly, I cannot say I have achieved that wish of theirs. I've fallen into the same dull routine. Wake, work, sleep, repeat. I do have some moments of bliss, but the daily struggles I go through outweigh the small moments of joy I have. My Little Pony has helped, but it's still just another thing to give my hopes up on. Every time I see the show or one of the ponies on a fan site, I recoil a bit at the bright colors, the joyful faces of the ponies, and the peaceful scenery of their world. It's so hard to look at that beautiful world, having it so close to my grasp. I reach out to touch its warm colors and bright, smiling faces of the ponies. Only to be stopped by my computer screen. I snap back to reality. It gets to the point where I will simply shut down my computer. I feel like I need like a book PNG here. Hold on, I gotta get a book. I gotta, we need like a little book here. Thank you. Yeah, the glasses help too. Get a Twilight horn too. Okay, hopefully this one works and it's not like a fake PNG. I hate when they do that. Okay, hold on a second. Please be real. There we go. Okay. We have book. I should put like a little moon here. Anyways. Okay. I snap back to reality. It gets to the point where I still will simply shut down my computer and walk away. I do that a lot, especially after my parents' death. I go for a walk. When I feel sad, I walk. When I feel tired, I walk. When I feel like walking, I walk. Walking has become my second life in a sense. I spend at least half my day outside, along the crumbling sidewalks and decaying suburbs. I've seen people come and go. I've seen buildings torn down, burned up, or have so much graffiti on its walls that its original color, touching grass, damn, is unrecognizable. I very rarely pass any other people on my strolls. Most people don't like to look at their once beautiful city, their homes or former businesses. I don't blame them. In fact, I envy them. They saw this place with their own two eyes. Seeing the buildings still standing tall and proud, the lawns freshly cut, the paved roads and sidewalks still intact. The only thing I've ever seen that even comes close is my mother's paintings, each of them colorful scenes of this concrete world. She started painting once everything crumbled beneath her feet, making the sad scenery before her look beautiful. Her masterpiece is of an open field that yielded a parking garage. Over it, she drew an amazing rainbow. My favorite picture, I guess, that is part of why I like Rainbow Dash the most out of all the other ponies. Her colors, the amazing sonic rainboom, all reminded me of that picture. There have been times I wish I had my own Rainbow Dash, or more realistically, a plushie of her to curl up in bed with. I made an old Simba into a temporary replacement until I am able to save enough money for one. It helps in a way. Like holding it close will heal my wounds, my pain, and my sorrow. My feet, after countless hours of walking in my old shoes, pulsate under the sheet. And all the while, I'll hold that stuffed animal harder than a mother protecting her child. It's the only thing I can look at and feel true joy. Even if it isn't physically the Rainbow Dash I want, it will have to do. Sorry, I need to... That's how you know it's fan fiction. True, it's already unrealistic. Uno momento. Okay, sorry about that. Today, as usual, I walked to work. It was the same shit, just a different day, watching the same people enter the store, grab their merchandise, and pay. Then walk out with the bags in tow. My shift ended several hours of this. I clocked out and started walking home. I decided to use a different route this time. But my book. I gotta get my book back. But hi, Twitchmon. Okay, there we go. Book in tow. Where was I? I stopped by something unusual. Oh, wait. Bags in tow. My shift had ended after several hours of this. I clocked out and started walking home. I decided to use a different route this time for a change in pace. A little something different from the normal path I walk. This part of the town was hit the worst. Only a few houses still stand and none of them occupied. It truly is a sad sight to see. Then again, it's really the only sight I see. The only sight I'll ever see. Or so I thought. I was stopped by something unusual, a stray cardboard box in the middle of the sidewalk. Now, living in this kind of area, I see trash all the time. Boxes, McDonald's cups, and plastic bags litter the streets and empty fields. But rarely will I see a cardboard box that isn't crushed in one way or another. I know this particular box because it happened to be in my way during my younger years. During my younger years, I tried to do what I could for the community. I'd pick up trash when I saw it, or I'd attempt to help my neighbors. It was a losing battle. Nowadays, I'd given up any hope of cleaning the city, much less my neighborhood. Now I'll just pass the trash by, letting it blow away in the breeze or sit there and decompose. I let what's left of the people do their own things, since most of them don't care about anyone other than themselves. Why should I be any different? I walked past the box, barely giving it a glance. Nothing about it caught my attention right away. I continued on, my home not far away now. Upon arriving, I sat down and played some games, attempting to push the box out of my mind. I had little luck, as the box somehow managed to push its way back in. Time crept on by, and I soon found myself wanting to go for another walk. I left the house and started down my usual route when I stopped. What was it about that box that made it stick out in my mind? I turned around, starting down this path I had taken to get home. The path that I only walk once in a blue moon. Curiosity got the best of me, and I wanted some closure. Within minutes, I found it, still sitting there, sad and alone, among the broken concrete and overgrown grass. It didn't move. It didn't stand out as if it were special. It was an ordinary brown cardboard box. I didn't want to say I came out of here for nothing, so I walked closer to it. As I drew closer, however, I began to notice something. It was brightly colored, multicolors in fact, and was quite small. Maybe the size of a few-month-old Labrador puppy. I stopped beside the box, looked down at the colorful blob inside. This is where I currently stand, looking into the box at a small something. No, I know exactly what it is, and my brain isn't allowing me to fully realize it just yet. At first, I want to say it's simply a toy, left to die along with all the other things in this block. But then I saw it breathing. In fact, it appears to be sleeping. My hands are sweating, my breathing erratic, and I'm blinking my eyes, trying to refresh my vision. Each time, the image stays the same. Inside is a sleeping filly. Rainbow Dash. I kneel down, trying to get a closer look into the box. I can't believe what I'm seeing. There is not a physical, mental, or extraterrestrial way of how this could be here. How she could be here, in my gloomy, dark, and horrid world. I examine the box further, and on the side in a simple pen says, "Give to good home." The first thought that runs through my mind, besides the initial filly Rainbow Dash in a box, is, who could give up a filly Rainbow Dash? My mind is now a mess of questions. How did she get here? Why is she here? Why is she a filly? Her flank is even barren of her cutie mark, meaning she is indeed a filly. As I stand to stretch my tired legs, I accidentally bump the side of the box with my foot, and the inevitable occurs. She wakes up. She looks around, rubbing her face with a foreleg, trying to wake herself up. At first, all she sees are the brown walls of the box. And then she looks up to me. Those large black eyes, along with the rose-colored rim around them, drive my heart to, as the meme goes, explode. Twice. The sheer cuteness of it all drives me to kneel back down, and I can't hold back a smile. I haven't smiled like this in years, since the last time me and my parents went out to the only remaining park in the area. Her eyes continue to stare at me, and I stare back. I don't know what to say or what to do, but I must start somewhere. "Hi there," I speak, but she doesn't respond. What are you doing out here?" She looks around. Ooh, who got banned this time? Somebody who's been kind of like a persistent, like, pain in my ass. They finally gave me a reason to ban them. You fucking dick, yeah. But hi, Mama. She looks around, then back to me. The more I study her, the more I realize she's really young. Years younger than her filial parents in episode 23. She might not be able to talk yet. That is... Man, I always miss the hammer. It was at the start of the stream. That is, if she even can talk in my world. The fact that she is even existing right now has me really in confusion. I return my attention back to her and notice a small shiver of her body. The fall season is here, and it can get pretty cold, especially around mid-September. I'm not sure how to exactly tackle this situation. Do I take her home? Do I call someone? Who would I even call? I'm a closet brony, so none of my friends know about my love of the show. I can't take her to a shelter. That's a stupid thought in the first place. Not only would it be a horrible sight, she might even be taken off to some lab and experimented on, or something just as equally horrible. I have only one choice. Mara's gonna play the piano.
I'll play the piano. I will not play the piano.
Mara, in fact, did not play the piano. He shall explain his choice in song. She shakes once more as the cool air reaches her coat. Her wings ruffle as she lays back down and huddles her legs closer to her body to keep warm. That's the final straw. I can't take it anymore. I take off my own jacket and reach down to pick her up. I get the initial response I expected. Fear. She begins to squirm around, unsure what I'm going to do to her. She can't fly yet, but she still flutters her wings as in praying for a miracle to happen that she does magically take flight. I set her into my jacket, wrap her up so that her head is sticking out, and I hold her in my arm. She continues to squirm, but then my body heat begins to finally seep through the thin jacket, and she settles down. It's all right. Let's get you somewhere warmer, huh? I smile again at her. She looks up to me with much confusion in her eyes as she tries to process what is happening. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. It's getting late, and you'll freeze out here. I think she understands me. For after I say those words, her eyes return to their normal size, and she snuggles herself more comfortably inside my jacket. She squirms a little, trying to get into a more comfortable position. I can feel her hooves and wings poking me as she shifts. Then, to top it off, she rests her chin into my arm and lets out a deep sigh, closing her eyes to drift off to sleep. My heart explodes for a third time. The entire walk back, I keep an eye out for other people who could pass by me. I don't want anyone else to see her. I have no way of knowing how they would react. As usual, though, I don't see a single person. It's midnight by the time I get home. Fortunately for us both, I have turned on my porch light. Otherwise, I might have passed it. Being one of the few occupied homes on the block meant a lot of darkness. The city even stopped running power to streetlights, so that made it all the more difficult. I glanced down at the filly who continued to sleep in the jacket as I carried her. She was no longer shivering and felt quite warm. I walk up to my porch, careful not to make too much noise as I get my keys out, unlock the 2 deadbolts, the master lock, and finally the doorknob, and open the door. It is dark inside due to me leaving while it was still light out. With a flick of a switch, the single bulb in the hallway comes to life, shedding some light into the living room. Most of the furnishings are my parents'. Then again, so is the house. I became the owner of it after their passing, and have done what I can to keep it that way. Still with the filly rainbow dash in my arm, I walk into the living room, and I pass my family portrait. I greet it with a, "Hello, Mom. Hello, Dad." I know they aren't there, but knowing that they love me and that I love them helps me stay sane. And so to keep going in my miserable life, as I enter the living room, I can feel stirring... Bleh! There we go. Okay. I can feel stirring in my arm. She had woken up, and most likely when I turned on the light, and is now getting antsy. With no idea what to do or how to tackle the situation, I set her down on the couch. Immediately, she jumps out of the jacket and looks around, already investigating her surroundings. I continue to watch her as she explores the couch, then continues to the coffee table. What are you doing here in my world? I didn't mean to ask that out loud, but it just sort of happens every now and then. Only seeing a few friends once in a great while, I find myself talking to, well, myself a lot. I don't own a pet, because that just means more money to dish out, and I'm already struggling as it is. From my question, the only response is another blank look on her face. That tells me she has no clue either. Then again, what else should I expect from a filly that can't even talk yet? Are you lost? The moment the words left my mouth, her ears fall and she looks to the ground. Oh. The realization strikes that she has no clue what is going on, where she is, who I am, or anything else. She's beyond the word lost. She is misplaced. Well, until something happens, I guess you can stay with me. Hey, I didn't see... Yeah, he's got a point. He does have a point. I only got 1 submission, so this is what you get. I see how she lifts her head up, ears starting to erect once again, and she looks at me with worry. My words don't sound that encouraging, so I throw on a smile as I speak. Don't worry. I'm sure whatever you brought here will fix itself within time. We just gotta wait. Is that all right? I'm not sure why I asked that, but it seems to do the trick. Her ears perk right up, and she smiles. The next few hours are spent giving her the grand tour of my house. Nothing amazing to see, and I avoid taking her into my bedroom out of fear that the large amount of dirty clothes would swallow her up. Afterwards, I give her something to eat. I break up some small carrots, and amazingly, I discover that she has some teeth. Since she is still a filly, I wasn't sure if she could eat solid foods such as carrots yet. Then again, she is from a cartoon, so I don't know what is correct for her anyways. Satisfied with the food, she finds a comfy spot in my father's recliner and sits. I don't mind. It's not like I sit in it. I was never allowed to when she was alive, so why should that change even after his passing? It's his chair, but I'm not going to be mean to the filly for not knowing that, so I let her sit where she is most comfortable. I also give her a small blanket to wrap herself in, due to my house's current temperature. It's not as cold as it is outside, but my furnace has had problems since before my parents' passing. There was a trick to fixing it, but that died along with my father. I must have fallen asleep at some point. I honestly expect myself to be wide awake due to such an interesting event, but after the long hours at work and staying up to take care of Dash, my body has had other plans. I'm not sure how long I was out before I awoke. Yeah, well, I don't want to get banned from Twitch, is why. But it doesn't matter. As I close my eyes, I feel something at my side. I look, and sleeping beside me is the small cyan filly. Her rainbow mane and tail still, her head resting on the inside of my elbow. I know the meme gets old, but I must say it. My heart exploded again. Laying there, sleeping, and curled up beside me, had me smiling ear to ear. Her gentle breaths are barely heard. The hairs on her mane tickle my arm, but I hold back any movement to itch. The warmth of her body against my stomach warms my already weak heart. Though a few months isn't a long time, it's how long I have waited for a moment like this. My own little pony, a Rainbow Dash plushie to sleep with and hold tight. And now I have a real Rainbow Dash, a filly sleeping at my side, content as though she's known me since birth. Right now, there is nothing else that matters to me. My despair, my sore feet, and painful heart all go unnoticed, as nothing else can come remotely close to the feeling I have right now. This joy I am experiencing at this moment as I lay awake on my couch. She is here. She is real. Right now, she is my little pony. She is my little Dashie. I will hold her and love her and call her George. It has been only 4 months since I brought the young Rainbow Dash into my home. I've done what little research I could on the matter, but I have come to no conclusions. I have no idea why she is here, and quite frankly, I don't even care anymore. These few months with her have been the most amazing time of my life. She has opened my heart to love and joy, among other things. Right now, she sits next to me on the couch as I watch television. She seems to enjoy the morning cartoons on the local stations, and I myself have come to enjoy them. She acts much like a young child would. Then again, why wouldn't she? Another amazing feat is she has been learning to talk. I'm not much of a teacher, or for that matter, a parent, but I'm doing my best to help her learn to speak and read. I don't know how or even where to begin to attempt in teaching her to write. From the show, they did it with their mouths, but I will let that go for now. Once she is a little older, if I even have her that long, I will do what I can to teach her. I need, sippy. Okay. It used to be that a year would go by slowly. I would look forward to the new year in hopes of getting a fresh start. Now, though, I feel as if this year went by a little too quickly for me. I've decided, since I have no knowledge of her actual birth date, to make the date I found her birthday. September the 17th. Oddly enough, that's the very same date that the second season of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, aired last year. I quit watching the show after Dashie came into my life. There was no reason for me to continue, and honestly, I don't have much time to myself anymore. It would be hard to hide me watching the show, and even harder to explain the situation if she were to ever see it, especially at her current age. She knew her name was Rainbow Dash, but I have come to calling her Pinky's pet name of Dashie, and she has no problem with it. She can fully communicate with me now, as well as read English, and she's even starting to learn how to write with, you guessed it, her mouth. I tried to invent some devices for her hoof so she could write, but it seems writing with her mouth is more natural than moving her hoof around. One thing now troubles me with her. Every day she sits at a window, looking outside. I'm not worried about her being seen by passerbys. I'm on a dead-end street, so that's the least of my worries. Still, though, she doesn't say anything to me yet. I can see the hunger for fresh air in her eyes. I can't keep her in here for her entire life. When do we get to the kissing? I don't know. I don't think this is that type of fan fiction. I keep talking like she's going to be here forever. That isn't true. One day, someday, she will return home. Whether it'll be a simple poof and she's gone, or through some magical spell and Twilight shows up and takes her home to fix everything. In my heart, I hope that never happens. In my head, I know it will. It's just a matter of when. But there are sequels! I do hope to get her outside soon. I've been checking out some of the abandoned lots and former parks on my walks to and from work, seeing where the best location would be to take her. Oddly enough, it seems the park I had played at growing up is the best option. That shall be it then. I shall take her to the park. How will I get her there? She's still relatively small, so she can be hidden inside a jacket or something. Tomorrow is supposed to be a nice day anyway. I was this close to making a fanfiction.net account. She did it. After 2 years in my care and having absolutely no knowledge of flight myself, I helped her learn to fly. She's gotten quite big in only a couple of years, and it was getting hard to hide her when we walked to the park. I got so desperate to keep her hidden, I bought a dog costume for her to put on. I mean, I get it, that's fair. So she could walk there unnoticed. She was not happy. So I got some books from the library and read up on teaching birds to fly. I would have looked on the internet, but I fear she would become curious of it herself. No, that's a bad idea. There are a lot of horrors on the internet, and she's not ready for it. In hindsight, it's bad enough she's experiencing television, but she has come to enjoy SpongeBob and NASCAR too much for me to take that away from her. Back to the flying. I've been taking her to that old park for weeks, in hopes I could help her learn how to fly. There is a large tree there, with branches sticking out over a sandbox. The perfect spot for her to practice. If she falls, and I can't catch her, at least she'll have something remotely soft to land on. She fell, a lot. I knew she would fall a lot. There were many scrapes, cuts, and bruises toward her goal, but finally, after many weeks of work, she flew. It was only a short distance, about 50 feet, but she still did it. She's a little scraped up, but she's beaming with pride. Maybe now she could fly overhead, so that the few people on the ground don't notice her. I'll have to see if she can manipulate clouds like she could in the show. It would make it much easier to take her places. Then she can hide on a cloud as we go to the park. Another thing that has been brought to my attention, she asked me about having her own room. I got thinking and realized the house does have a spare bedroom, though my parents had filled it with my old school stuff from my younger years, as well as several of my old toys. She might enjoy them, though she is getting older. I'm not sure how entertaining they will be for her. If she has her own room, I can get her own things, so that she can feel somewhat normal. She's pretty smart for a filly, and knows that the difference between our species, but she still knows nothing about her origin. She is not ready yet. The only thing I can do is keep her happy. I only wish I had a way to buy her the things she wants. Another sippy. I feel like the Studio Ghibli music fits perfectly with fanfiction reading. Adjusting my chair a moment. If you told me 4 years ago I'd be taking care of a cartoon rainbow-colored pony, I'd call you insane. I probably am in all reality, but I don't care. I'm happy. She's happy. Today is a day for celebration. For today, my little Dashie got her cutie mark. I honestly didn't know how to tackle that fact. She didn't even know what it was until I explained it to her. I feel like you're correct, and I dislike that. Well, we're here for the cringe. Now, she's even more ecstatic than before. It was a normal park outing, but this time she decided she wanted to see how high she could get. I had limited her to how high she could fly, but honestly, I can't do anything about what she does up there. I can't fly, so the most I could do is tell her to be careful. Somewhere, she got it in her head to see just how fast she could fly, probably due to her being a NASCAR. Maybe a NASCAR fan. Okay, being a NASCAR and, well, a general racing fan. For some time, she was trying to make up tricks and stunts of her own, giving them names. I'd just sit on a bench I had fixed up and cheer her on. No one was ever around anymore. In fact, on that block, I think the last person left over a year ago. There are rumors the entire area is going to be bought out by some company, however, and all this turned into a large manufacturing area. I don't know how I feel about that, but it's not important now. Right now, I'm so overcome with joy that my Dashie now knows her place. Granted, this isn't her world. She is still the same Rainbow Dash from the show. Regardless of how I raised her, she has that same spunk and attitude from the show, and now she has her cutie mark. Anyway, she climbed to quite a height in an attempt to gain speed from a fall. Well, all the right things factored for her, and how she positioned herself, her mental focus, and possibly me on the ground watching and cheering her on, but she did it. She broke the sound barrier and created a sonic rainbow overhead. Now, I didn't even imagine it was possible to accomplish such a feat in my world. I knew you could break the sound barrier, but actually do the rainbow part too? My mind is blown. So the initial explosion brought upon many broken windows and sent off car alarms in the next county. I quickly rounded her up and we rushed home before anyone could arrive at the park. I was lucky none of my windows were broken. The rest of the day was spent celebrating. It would just so happen today was her 4th birthday. I have no way of knowing how old she actually was when I got her, so I just started over. I would have bought a cake, but due to the boom, all the businesses were closed and needed new windows. So we made a cake of our own. Apparently, the fanfiction writers got it right. She can't bake at all. Granted, I'm not the best myself, but it was still a mess. But we had fun. She enjoyed herself and she is happy. Therefore, I am happy. Though that was her highlight of the day, mine was just moments ago. She has now come accustomed to sleeping in her own room versus with me out on the couch. I actually stopped sleeping in my own room and kept her company in the living room up until recently. Now I can sleep on my own bed once more, and I keep my door unlocked, so if she needs me, she can get me. I had just tucked her into bed and told her good night when she said it. I'm not gonna read this. God damn it. Good night, Good night, Daddy. I love you. I haven't been on the internet in, 3 years? I don't know how the My Little Pony thing online is doing, or what memes are still alive or not, but damn it all, I'm gonna say it, because it's true. My heart exploded twice. For the first time, not only did she call me Daddy, God damn it, which she has done on occasion, but she said, I love you. For a moment, I didn't know what to say or what to do. I've never been in this sort of situation before, but I remembered that what my mother and father used to do. So we leaned down and kissed her on the forehead and told her the same thing. The internet has truly ruined us. Good night, my little Dashie. I love you too. Wow. She smiled at me, then closed her eyes to sleep. I walked out, turning off the light, making sure her SpongeBob nightlight was on. Of course, closed her door, then sat down on the couch. I hadn't moved for an hour. I'm so lost in thought. The few times she had called me Daddy, I didn't think anything of it. I could picture why she called me that. Being with her so much made me accept it as part of taking care of her. But tonight, when she said those 3 words, the realization finally sunk into my heart. I am her daddy. Oh, damn it. What? You have an idea. Keely is Dashy's daddy, noted. Couldn't use like father or anything. I am your father, you know. She considers me her daddy, and quite. I just wanted to watch some EQL a couple weeks ago. How am I here? I don't know. I guess you found me entertaining enough to stay. Don't worry, we're playing EverQuest Legends tomorrow. Okay. She considers me her daddy, and quite frankly, I consider her my daughter. Even though we are a totally different species, I still love her with all my heart. And it has taken her to speak those words for me to finally realize that. I think I have finally done it. I have broken my hard shell that had formed when my parents died. I've let a sweet little filly into my life. I gave her a home to live in, food to eat, and now a daddy to love. God. She has given me hope, love, compassion, and now something I thought I'd never utter. A daughter. I still speculate when the time is going to arise that she goes back to Equestria, and each day it gets harder for me to imagine when that actually happens. I just hope that she never forgets me, because I will never forget her. Okay, we're gonna read one more chapter before we call it a night. I believe Dashy is now at her full size. Rounding in at about 3 feet tall, she is fully grown. Though she is still only 10 years old, according to my math, I believe she is actually more along the lines of 14 or 15, possibly in actual years. So we celebrated 5 missed birthdays and officially moving day. That's right, moving day. We moved from my parents' house thanks to me finally saving up enough money, plus getting lucky at a casino. Hooray. We bought a nice house 100 miles away from the city. It's got a lot of open land. There isn't another house within 5 miles, and it's just me and her. Now she can fly all around all she wants, whenever she wants. She is truly happy. Though she does miss the old park. It's gone now, along with anything else left in the area. A large business bought up all the land, flattened it, and built a large factory there. Ah, the Rainbow Factory. It was an amazing boom to the economy, and people are starting to build homes again. I'm glad, but it just wasn't for us. The amount of people would hinder her going outside, and I'm not going to force her to stay inside all day unless it's raining out. Gasp, foreshadowing. I've gotten a new job, one that pays much more than my old one. Dashi even talked about getting a job, but then she remembered what I told her. The look on her face was heartbreaking. We were enjoying a cake we made, which I must add, we have improved upon that skill when she brought it up. I jokingly said she can't do to her being a pony, and I laughed. She remained silent. My God, I'm horrible. I just laughed because my daughter is different. How horrible. How could you? I apologized for hours, and even though she says she understands, I know she is still hurt. Lucky, I have a way to fix this. Due to the sheer size of the property, it involves a lot of cutting of grass. Tomorrow, I will modify a lawnmower for her to use, so that she can have... You're going to give a flying creature a lawnmower? So she can have a job. I'll even pay her. So that she can buy her own stuff if she wants. Though, I'd have to get it for her. Still, she can actually say she worked for something. According to the show, she was a weather pony. And I don't have her mess around with Mother Nature unless it's a dire emergency, so there isn't really any job to be had there. I still can't believe I've had her for 10 years now. My God, time goes so fast. I wish it would slow down, so that I could have more time with her. I don't know when, but I have the sudden feeling our time together is running out. All of this has been too good to be true. And that's where we're, leaving that off. Can I mark this? Probably not. It's in text format. Probably not. Okay. But yeah, that's where we leave things off. Anyways. It is that time of the evening. Thank you all for joining me tonight for both crafting. Well, now I want a pony. Hold on, let me snooze ads. There we go. No, wait, don't snooze. Thank you. Not just one that can speak, yes. But anyways, thank you everybody for joining me tonight. As always, I greatly appreciate it. We've made some progress on the Chocobo. We will make more progress later, but we will be back tomorrow. So if you're new to my stream, hello and welcome. You can check out my schedule. I posted on my social medias and my Discord with what we're going to do throughout the week. But like I said, we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be playing EQ Legends. Wednesday, we will not be having a stream. I will be in the other virtual world representing the club I work for. We are working with Relay for Life as part of the American Cancer Society. We are raising money to kick cancer's ass, so I will be DJing for the Relay for Life event. Hi, Sinkbin, welcome on in. So that's why we won't have a stream on Wednesday. I could always plug in my one that I can't name on Twitch. But yes, my club, we are raising money for the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. My club in particular, we will already raised, I think, almost $1,000. So we are looking to hit that goal. So Wednesday, I will be DJing there. So that's why we have no stream that day. But as I said, we'll be back tomorrow and Thursday for EverQuest Legends, and then Friday I'm going to be playing Risk of Rain with Kairu, possibly Collateral, and I think Mara will be joining. So yeah, but in the meantime, we're going to go read out. We're going to go say hello to somebody. Let's see, who do we got? Sounds more awesome than a possum. Everything is awesome. I like that. Got a lot of people on tonight. It's just, who do we want to pick? Who do we want to pick? We're gonna say hi to Katana Spirits.
You! I knew someone had to find this! I fucking knew it! You! I fucking wondered who had it! You piece of shit!
Valid. Valid crash out.
I fucking wondered why I'm so paranoid. Because I knew it was missing. I knew someone had to have it. I wanted to.
Anyways, raid messages up in chat. Have a good night, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow. But for now, bye-bye for now.